Welcome to Module 14. We're in Chapter 11, the Cause and Effect Essay, Academic Achievement. I'd like you to open your book up to page 219 and let's go over the goals for this chapter. Please open up your computer as well and you can look at the module and follow along with me. At the top of page 219, let's look at the writing goals. The first one is to organize and write a causal analysis essay. For example, what are 3 good reasons that cause a student to become successful at university? Well, one cause might be the ability to study hard, and then the second one might be being very organized, and the other one is using their time very well. Right? So and then to organize and write an effect analysis essay. For example, what is the effect of having a university degree? Well, there could be at least 3 good effects, positive effects, getting a good job, being able to support your family, and also being able to pursue other academics or intellectual pursuits. So the third one is to diagram, outline, and write a causal chain essay. For example, if you think about someone who's fat and they smoke, well, if they suddenly went to the doctor and the doctor said stop smoking and they stopped smoking, well, then they feel better. And when they feel better, they think, oh, I think I'm going to exercise. So if they start exercising, then they actually start losing weight. So there's a chain of events that happens one after the other. And that's a causal chain analysis essay. And the next one is to use a relevant quotation to introduce an essay. For example, an essay on speaking wisely. One of my favorite quotations from the Torah from Suleiman is, even a wise man who keeps his mouth closed appears to be wise. I'm sorry, even a fool that keeps his mouth closed appears to be wise. So, using a quotation from a famous person draws the attention of the reader and introduces the topic. And then we'll talk about using transitions for cause and effect. And again, we're going to have a number of readings for this chapter, and we're going to talk about what is the writer's purpose in writing, what is their aim, their goal in writing, and then to identify causes and or effects in a certain essay. And then we're going to also build on vocabulary through practicing phrasal verbs, to recognize and use word partners, again, that we've had in other chapters, and then grammar with adverb clauses and results, and using unreal conditionals, and then to review articles. So please go to page 220, and the first exercise that I've given you is the journal writing, and I've asked you to pick question number 1. Don't write on number 2, only number 1, and just answer the questions in number 1 and write a short, brief paragraph. On pages 221 to 224, you've got reading 1, surfing's up and grades are down. So everybody knows what surfing is, right? Being on the internet. And if surfing's up, then you're surfing on the computer a lot, right? And maybe you have an internet addiction, right? And it's causing your schoolwork to suffer, so your grades go down. So they'll be talking about the positive or even negative effects of owning a computer. And I'm asking you to answer the 5 questions on page 224 at the end of the reading. And the next reading, reading 2, is on page 225, the growth of early childhood education. And what has caused so many of these preschools and kindergartens to start up all over the world? What's happening in industrialized nations that so many kids are now going to these early programs before they even start elementary school? So on page 227, I've asked you to do the 6 questions, the 6 comprehension questions there. On page 228, exercise 1 is using phrasal verbs, and so they've got verbs in the sentences there, and they want you to replace them with phrasal verbs. And you'll notice that the first one is done for you, and that, which one is it? It's number 9, I. If you look at I, there's a misprint in the book, and it should be move away. So I've given you that one already. And if you look at page 229 to 30, exercise 2 is word partners, and again guessing vocabulary in the context of the sentence to see if it makes sense. So you get some practice with word partners. Some of these word partners you can have more than one possible choice. I think there's three options, or 3 blanks there that have 2 possible answers. And then from page 230 to page 232. Page 232 is exercise 3, so what you need to do is to study page 230 and page 231, and then answer the questions for the short paragraph at the end there. I do want to point out on page 230 that there's some boldface words there, and right, this is writing for cause and effect. Causes are something, they're just causes, right? There may be causes for a burglary, the rate of burglaries to be happening in your neighborhood. What's actually causing people to break in and steal things in your neighborhood? That's one possible topic, right? And then there's effects. Effects are also called results, right? And so if your government decides to cut taxes, right, that means that there's going to not be as much money for the government if there's tax cuts. So how is that going to affect public works, for example? They're going to build less roads. They're not going to be able to pay people to clean up garbage and so forth. All right, and then there's the cause and the effect analysis. Right? It's a important analytical skill to develop. Right, into writing papers that analyze causes or effects will help you develop the skill of critical analysis. The first kind of essay that they're focusing on here is where there's just one cause, right, that has multiple effects. So what effect, for example, does pollution have on Kabul, right? What does it do to the quality of life in Kabul? What problems does it cause? And the example that they give at the top of page 231 is obesity, which it means somebody who's very, very much overweight, right? What are the specific causes with that single effect of obesity? Right. I talked about the results, 3 results of pollution, but we should actually think about what are the 3 causes of pollution in Kabul. What's contributing to pollution in Kabul? Right. All the automobiles, so many people, and burning, especially at this time of the year burning wood, right, is causing air pollution. Anyway, so they, at the top of page 231, they have four contributing causes to obesity, or being very, very much overweight. And if you look on page 232, they want you to analyze, for exercise 3, that paragraph and answer just 2 questions about it. And then in exercise 4, I've done the first 2 for you, but you need to look at these paragraphs and see, are they successful paragraphs or are they not successful paragraphs? If they're not successful, then tell why. And I've done number 1 and number 2 for you, so you only have to do number 3 and 4. Exercise 5, I want you to pick one topic. Here, pick one topic, and you're going to write a short paragraph, right, with one cause and then 3 supporting ideas of that one cause. So, for example, they ask in number 1, what is the reason that people immigrate to the United States, right? And so I wrote an example there. There's 3 specific reasons that I wrote down as an example of why people would use immigration to go to the United States. Basically, the general idea is to have a better life, and then you can read first, second, and third supporting reasons. And page 234, exercise 6, I only want you to do B, and it's causes for air pollution in this city. So pollution is a common topic for cause-effect essays. And in this case, you're going to, for the set of causes here, there's 7 causes in the set, right? And some are immediate and some are remote. So you look at the top of page 234 and you look at, you see the italicized words at the very top of page 234, immediate causes, right, sometimes called direct causes, and then remote causes, which are further removed in time but are still important reasons. Right, so immediate causes are what's the immediate cause of some problem, for example. And then some that are more distant than others. And I've done the first 3 for you. And the next exercise is exercise 7, page 235 to 237. And you need to read this essay here, Why Our Cars Guzzle Gas. And guzzle means to drink a lot of. If you guzzle water, or if you're playing football or volleyball and you're very, very thirsty, then you guzzle water, you drink a lot of it. So why our cars guzzle gas. So please read that one and then answer the 4 questions on page 237 at the end. And then exercise 8, the last one. This is false reasons, false causes of reasoning. Right? For example, if a president was elected in November, just like what happened in the U.S., Donald Trump was just elected. He's the vice president or president-elect, and a lot of people thought, well, the economy is really going to go down because people don't trust him. They don't think he's a trustworthy person, so the economy is going to go down in the U.S. Well, it's actually had just the opposite effect, that many people are thinking that business is really going to be good in the U.S., so they're investing a lot more. In this case, you have false reasons, right? And I've given you the first two. The first one is done for you. Every time I ride my moped to school, it rains. I'm not going to ride it today, so it won't rain, right? Is that true, right? No. Right? Just because someone rides their moped is not going to cause it to not rain. But the second one, causing cancer chemicals, cancer-causing chemicals were dumped into the Love Canal area of New York. People who lived in Love Canal have a high rate of cancer. So that's a more direct cause-effect relationship. But the one with rain, thinking that it's not going to rain just because you don't ride your moped, that's time oriented. So if you have any questions about how to do these exercises, please send me an email, contact me, or chat me on Facebook, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. We'll be finishing this chapter in the next module and writing our second to last essay. So I'll see you in Module 15.